What's going on, guys? Rob A here, and today we're going to be taking a look at Toyworld's T06 SIDELOAD, their version of Throttlebot Wideload. As you can see, he's not a garbage truck this time. He's some kind of weird Humvee thing, monstrosity car. It's got 1 million doors and 1 million windows, and it fits 2 people. It gets 1 mile to the gallon. No. So it's some kind of crazy armored vehicle, I believe, and it's a lovely orange. It's very metallic, nice metallic orange. I like that quite a lot. But yeah, he's got a huge box, and he is a huge vehicle, unlike Shinebug, which is a tiny vehicle inside a huge box. But inside here are all the other combiner parts for the nameless combiner that we're gonna have to figure out in a little bit. But you can see here, very nice image of the vehicle mode on the side here, and on the back, of course, the same image of the vehicle mode, and of course the robot mode here, looking pretty cool. On the side, we get another image of the robot mode. So yeah, he does have all the combiner parts in here. I'm going to do the combiner as a separate video because normally I do the combine mode video with the main figure or the torso bot. This guy is technically the torso bot, but Shinebug comes with just as many combiner parts as this guy does, so I feel it would probably be best just to make a separate video so people don't get confused as to what parts come with what figure, and I'll just do it all separately, and you can check out the combiner mode at that time. So right now we're just going to do SIDELOAD, and I'm going to go do that now and stop talking about nothing. So I'll see you guys in just a moment. Okay guys, here is SIDELOAD, and as you can see, he's a big orange monster of a thing. The ugliest car in the universe. I believe this is based off of the Homer, I think is the actual car. No, it's that's some weird name. I wrote it down, but I am too brain dead to actually go and look it up. I'm sure you guys probably already know, but it's an actual vehicle. There's an actual vehicle that looks like this. It rolls just fine, as you can see, but we're going to talk about that in just a minute. We're going to show you the accessories that come in this package. So you get, of course, the instruction manual. You might as well just throw that right out. I'm a little bitter. Can you tell? You do get a collector card in here. And on the back, you can see more images of the figure. You can see in these images he has a gun in his hand and attached to the roof of the vehicle. I cannot show you that, unfortunately. Mine did not come with that gun. I believe it is a manufacturer error, as I believe every other time I've seen images of this figure, he does have the gun with him. So what is supposed to come with him, I bought this from Big Bad Toy Store, and I've already contacted them about that. Hopefully they're going to get back to me about sending out a replacement. But for the meantime, he does come with a blue gun. It does stick right off there. It's pretty inconsequential. He also comes with a bunch of combination accessories, I should say, including 2 kneecaps, which I'll show you right here. 2 of these knees, so you can play pigs in space, because that's what they love. Pigs in space. Come on, tell me that's not what you see. And now you cannot unsee it. So there you go, you get 2 of those. And 1 of these gigantic things. You get this big old set of shoulders with a head on it. I'm not even sure which end is the front. Maybe this side? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. We'll find out very shortly. The head has the same exact light piping that all of the figures do, so you can get some really cool effects if my lights were a little bit more direct. They actually seem a little dull today, which is weird considering they're usually, whiting everything out in the universe. But there you go. Really cool looking head sculpt on that. I very much like it. And of course these are the shoulders. Dig those ratchets, man. And softer ratchets going forward, but bam, okay. So you get that, you get the knees, and you get this giant monstrosity of a truck. And yeah, let's talk about this truck. So here it is. You can see it's got 3 windows on each side, which is fairly normal, I guess. This isn't really a you know, it's not really a civilian vehicle is the word I'm looking for. It's like a troop transport kind of truck. But you know, I'm sure this is, well, this one's orange, obviously. The original Wideload was a dump truck, and I do understand the reasoning by using this, and I'll get into that in a bit. But yeah, so this is the truck. Here's the back end. Here's the side. There's the front. Alright, and to show you guys a quick comparison, here is SIDELOAD with the rest of his crew, and he is so much bigger than all of the other ones. So we're gonna have to kind of scooch him in here, do some rearranging. These are the bigger guys. They kind of go off to the side here. We'll just kind of do this, maybe. I don't know. There you go. So you can get kind of an idea of how they all look together as a team. This guy is, of course, super huge. You can see compared to Shinebug, so enormous. You know, Grind Rod, just so much big car going on here. Ugliest car in the universe, and here he is with the rest of his teammates. And it's a nice looking team. Like, I mean, this guy is obviously sort of the odd man out just because he's so much bigger, but because he used to be a garbage truck, that kind of works. You know, because it was going to be that way either way. Like, if he was a garbage truck, it would have been still gigantic, even bigger, actually. So it's kind of nice that they sized him down to a point where he's still noticeably larger than the others, but not ridiculously oversized, if you get what I mean. So that kind of works. Yeah, so there you go. That is the entire team in vehicle mode together, looking really, really nice. So now, guys, we're going to transform this into robot mode, and I'm going to give you a fair warning. I have practiced this. I have transformed this guy back and forth about 5 times or more, maybe, and I still hate it. I still hate it. His transformation makes the Fans Project Stunticons look like one-step changers. And it's not even that it's super complicated, it's just there are tolerance issues that really, really hinder the enjoyment and smoothness of this transformation. So, that said, let's get into it. So the first thing we want to do is we're going to go ahead and flip the side mirrors in. We're going to go ahead and pull this entire kind of midsection up, like so. It's all just going to come up here. And we're just going to go ahead and deal with this now. So you can see these 2 blue tabs, and when word of caution, when you're returning this guy to vehicle mode, if you ever decide you want to torture yourself with doing that, you want to make sure these are flat down here, because it's easy to leave them up, because they come out like this, they stick up to, you know, plug into the back of the robot, and it's easy to leave those sticking up like that without thinking about it, and it'll make it so the backpack, or the front of the top of the car will not fit flush. So you just want to make sure that those are pressed flat in when you're transforming this guy back to vehicle mode. But now that we have him like this, we are going to actually turn these in on themselves like so. So we're going to take these flaps, the pegs rather. There you go. You're going to actually want to give yourself a couple of days and let your fingernails grow so that you can actually get those stupid things. I'm sorry, I'm kidding. So we're just going to go ahead and take this guy, and take this little flap, and we're just going to put it back just like that, and just get that out of the way. These we're going to separate like so. Like so. And I believe we're doing the big ones first. I'm trying desperately to remember the order in which these go. So you want to actually bring this up and over the peg here. And you just want to press that down and in, and then bring the peg back up like so. So you just want to lay that as flush and flat as you can, and then do it to the other side as well. So flip the little black running board in. And actually, I did that wrong. These are kind of they're kind of made in a way that they go in a certain order. Like this one's made kind of so it fits a little flatter against the bottom there. So just feel it out. It really doesn't make a huge difference which order you do these in, as long as you do the larger ones first, I believe, because the bottom ones have to go in over them, or else the backpack won't fit flush on the figure's back. And these you can kind of just sort of press down and in, just kind of sit them down there. Yeah, I think this one's got to go down first, and then this one. And I think that's how it's supposed to go. So that's the backpack, just done and out of the way. And that's like not a big deal. That's really not the problem. The problem is right back here, this whole mess. So let's go ahead and just turn this around, right around at the waist. These are going to become the legs. This is easy to do. So you just want to take these flaps out. It might actually help to separate them. So you just pop it out like that. It's going to make a horrible noise, and you got to make sure you kind of fit this underneath the flap when you're transforming it back. But just get it out and pop it up. Pop it up like that. Then you want to just unpeg the kneecaps, because they sit on these little pegs here. Just bring these down and out like so. Flip those back up, and they will soft lock into place up there. And around the back here, we're just going to grab these heels and bring them down and under the feet. And those are the legs, pretty much done. So now you can stand them up and pretty much leave them, because you're never going to touch this again. So I am ranting, I understand that, so bear with me. Alright, so what we want to do now is we want to unpeg this section right here. Bring this whole bit down, like so. Get the head up and out. We're going to take the wheels, and the wheels are on this little turning, spinning thing. And you want to grab the wheel and push it kind of up. It's hard to describe, but you can kind of see what's going on here. You're going to push it up and around. There's this little tab on the wheel you can see that kind of locks in over there. But you want to bring it over here and then slide it so that the wheel fits inside this half of the chest. So you can do the same on the other side. Get the wheel unlocked, and then just fit them both right in there, and that's going to be inside the chest of the robot. So we got all the easy stuff out of the way. Now let's do the annoying stuff. So we've got these panels here. So these are on little ball joints. They'll fall off if you breathe on them funny. I've managed to transform this guy several times without knocking these off, ever. It doesn't make it any easier, though. So, what the problem is here is you've got this back panel here, this back panel here, this panel here, this panel here. These do not move. Like, they move, but not in any meaningful way. Look, you can pull them up and kind of get them up like that. And that's, I guess, the ideal that we're going to have to work with right now, because we need to get these panels spun in such a way that we're just basically turning these all the way around. And as you can see, they're on this little pin, which is, you know, not very long, and there's not really clearance to do what needs to be done here. So it can be done, it's just really upsetting is the word I'm going to use, and that's the politest word I can think of. Okay, we're just gonna, so we gotta move this out of the way and rotate this around, and that is fine, but now we gotta move this down, and then this, see, now that popped off, but that was just because I grabbed it by that flap. But okay, so now we're gonna move this up and out of the way, the arm, and we gotta move this back up here, and then this way, and then this goes in here, and then this goes here. But okay, so the object is this half of the wheel well, this, you know, the wheel well here needs to go in. It's got to be flat against this panel here. And as you can see, this flap here, this panel, is attached to this piece. You've got a little wiggle room here, but not anything really to write home about. So you're just dealing with that, and you got to kind of get this around itself, and it's just the worst. So let's try it from the other angle, and there we go. We're kind of there. There we go. All right, so that's where that has to be. And I'm sure, you know, if I could memorize it, how it's supposed to go, it'd be a lot easier, but it's just... Okay, we almost got this. We almost got it. We're almost there. Okay, get this up, pull this out. But you see what I'm saying? Like, this this seems unnecessary to me. There we go. Okay, we got it. We got it. Now what you want to do is actually keep these apart, because you want to bring this up and in and fit this behind here, because that's going to help everything peg together more solidly in robot mode. So watch me do this one in slow motion, and that's the correct way to do it. Because you'll do it like every time, unless you're like a super genius, which I'm most certainly not. I don't consider myself a stupid person most of the time, but this makes me feel stupid. Like, I know there's a way to do it without too much trouble, but the thing is, like, your casual, you know, person, you know, your average Joe, like, not saying they're unintelligent, I'm just saying, like, it's not, it's so counterintuitive is the problem. Like, there's not, it should just be like you either pull this out an extra ½ inch and just slide it back in, or, you know, or just have it on a ball joint so I could pop the stupid thing off and put it back on. You know what I mean? But anyway, now that you've got these kind of sort of in place, you're going to connect them together up here. So you're going to bring this panel up, and then this panel is going to come down and form the arm. And this is going to be like a little back flap that's just going to go over this panel. So you want to connect these together just at the top there. These are going to peg, and these side panels do peg in. There's a little peg here, a little slot there, but it's pointless, because this is the only outward motion that the arm gets. So you're going to want to probably just leave them unpegged, because you're going to unpeg them anyway, either by accident or, you know, intentionally. And now you can bring this forward, this panel, if you want to kind of give a little more clearance, and you actually do want to open up these slots, which the backpack is going to peg into, but we'll get to that in just a moment. Let's fix all this other nonsense first. So what you want to do is you want to line these blue parts up with these blue screw holes, and then line these smaller pegs up with these internal orange holes, I guess. And you want to go down and in like so. Just kind of use one finger to hold the head panel up to line it up with those slots. And then once you get it started in there, you can kind of get it started in these blue holes and then just slide it all together and it fits in nice and solid. Then you bring the chest panel down, just plug that in. And then you can go ahead and get the backpack in, which is fairly simple. You just find one side and kind of shimmy it in. Oh, okay. Get one side in, there you go. Then the other side is easy. This is the only time I've actually had trouble with this. Usually the backpack is easy. So of course, you know, it's like, oh, hey, Rob's recording, so, you know, let's fall apart now. Like, if we're gonna do it, now's the time. There we go. Backpack's in, and that fits in solidly. It's not going anywhere. I've heard reports that the backpack doesn't fit in properly and falls out easily, and I think that may just be a situation where those people might be, you know, packing it incorrectly, if that makes sense. You know, like the way that all the panels fold in. So anyway, we're almost there. Want to grab your arm, and twist it around so that the hole is facing the underside, and then bring this panel down and around and just sit it right into that hole. Bring your fist out. Same deal over here. You want to just accordion the arm out, spin it around, bring the panel down and under, and then get your fist right out of the way. And there you have SIDELOAD, who is actually a really, you know, really cool looking big orange Garfield robot. And, you know, I like the robot mode, I really do. It's just getting there that's such a problem. Now, I will say, the first time I transformed this guy, I did it without the instruction booklet. So it's not a matter of it being so complicated that you need the instructions or that it's impossible, but it is a matter of, like, a lot of it just needs to be a little more intuitive. Also, apparently one of my tail lights came loose and is just spinning around. Okay. But anyway, here is the robot mode, and it's very nice, very solid robot mode. I mean, you do get jiggle in the legs from the combination, but it's not, like, it doesn't really affect stability. You know, he stands fine. So, I mean, there's no problem there. It's just a matter of if you pick him up, you can wiggle woggle his legs. So there's that. But his head is on a ball joint, and his head is a little silly looking, I think. And, you know, a lot of people said, oh, it looks like Garfield. Looks like Garfield. And I can totally see that, because it's big, it's orange, and it looks like you got 2 ears here, maybe even a little nose right up there. And that's a little bit silly. They could have gone with just not having these 2 bits sticking up, but he does have a decent head sculpt overall. And it's, of course, on a ball joint. You get some nice range out of that. You get nice light piping. He's got ratcheting arms. They go out to the side as well. He's got a bicep swivel. He's got an elbow joint. His wrists do, in fact, swivel. He does have a waist swivel. He's got nice ratcheting hips back and forth. He can break his thigh in half if you so desire. He's got nice knee joints as well, and a lower thigh swivel, upper knee swivel, whatever you want to call it, whatever makes you happy. He does have nice posability in his toes, so you can wiggle those around any way you like. And he's got this, you know, this heel that can move in all kinds of directions, and you can even turn it around if you want, like, super crazy far back heels. But I think it's honestly meant to just fit under the foot like that, and then just have the toe kind of come down and meet it. And that works just fine, really well, as a matter of fact. So, I mean, I do like him. I just hate transforming him. And for a lot of you, that may be a deal breaker. And I don't blame you. I will not hold that against you one little bit. I mean, I won't hold anything against you because whatever you want to do, it's your money, it's your opinion. But I will say he's a cool figure. Both modes are solid. It's just getting him there that is kind of a nightmare. And like I said, if you figure out the secret to these flaps and can do it in one shot without any troubles, more power to you. Like, that's awesome. But as you can see, like, I've done this 4 or 5 times at least before, and I still had trouble. I still, even though you kind of know where it's supposed to go, it's kind of moving everything at once to kind of get it to that position that can be a real bear. But, like I said, I do like the figure overall. I just hate the transformation. And when it's a Transformer figure, that's kind of a big deal. So, yeah, I'm a little on the fence about this guy. I'm annoyed that I didn't get the gun, but hopefully that will be taken care of soon. But anyway, so here he is with the rest of his team. We've got Highway. We've got Trace. We've got Shinebug. We've got Aurora. And of course, Grindrod. Love saying that name. Yeah, so, I mean, as you can see, they're a really, really nice looking team. And it's cool that they have, like, the big bruiser and the little guy who's maybe the leader or whatever. These, the two fast guys, and then the two, like, probably demolition crew sort of folks. I really like the group dynamic that Toyworld has put together here, and it's not just little cars all the same size. They transform to all the same size. I like that they went with the different sizes. I love the color schemes, and for the most part, the transformations are complicated but not horrible. And in his case, it's not overly complicated. It's not intentionally horrible, but there's just something lost. There's a little finesse that's missing from the transformation that I think really needed to be there, just to kind of get everything out of its own way. All the flaps and stuff just become kind of tedious, and of course moving those wheel bits is just so obnoxious. But yeah, I mean, overall, I really do like the team, and I think it's a really cool set of figures, and the fact that they combine is awesome. Like, these don't look like they are combining figures. They don't look like a combiner team. As far as, like, sacrificing certain parts of their transformations or whatever to have them combine, they just look like a really cool, cohesive team that happens to be a combiner, and I think that's awesome. So I am going to do a separate combiner video. I do hope you'll stay tuned and stick around for that. I'm going to try and get it up as soon as I can, but I need a break after transforming SIDELOAD for the 5th time or whatever. So anyway, that is going to do it for this review, guys. I want to thank you so very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope you'll subscribe and stay tuned for more. I've got more Transformers, more all kinds of stuff. I got Lego, I got Zoids, hopefully in the near future, and various other things, more Nerf painting. So please stick around. Check out my channel if you haven't already. You might find something there that you didn't know you loved. And in the meantime, thanks again for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.